Hello guys, Arcane here. I just want to take some time to tell you guys that we have a Patreon set up for the channel. It's an additional way you can support us. So I will put the link in the YouTube cards and in the description. Thanks for checking it out and I hope you enjoyed the video. Hello guys, Arcane here. Welcome to another toe dip. This is Arcane Shop. This VN was developed by Ron C14. This is a fantasy world-based furry gay romance VN, and it tells the story about Resque, R-E-S-Q-U-E, who runs an arcane shop in a back alley. And there will be 4 choices of partners, and we have to discover the fate and future of the arcane shop with the chosen partner. So let's check out the story. What's your name? Let's go with the default, Resque. Yes, R-E-S-Q-U-E. Is Resque right? Yes, that's right. Alright, let's play Resque. Chapter 1. This is my magic shop, where colorful potions on the shelves glisten in the sunlight streaming through the window. The sunlight caresses my face and uplifts my spirits, and I can't help but smile. Despite being located in the city's back alleys, I signed the dotted line without hesitation, for the place was nevertheless exquisitely sunlit. Still, a back alley is a back alley, so customers were hard to come by in the business's earliest days. I eventually had to resort to handling some of the more questionable or dangerous goods. My income became plentiful to the point I'd even fantasized that if it kept up, I might be able to open a shop inside the castle. Of course, I have no intention of leaving the comfort of my shop in the back alley. I dab the shelves with my feather duster while musing over idle daydreams and what I'll have for dinner today. Thud! The sound of something crashing made me jump and turn my head. The fur, so dark it almost gives off a blue sheen, has hints of red at the tips. This wolf beastman, adorned with glossy white fur that creates a striking contrast, is Gahel, a mercenary with an extraordinary career that belies his age. It was as if the scars covering his muscle-bound body were a testament to his prowess. I've signed a long-term contract appointing Gahel as my bodyguard and private mercenary, providing him bed and breakfast apart from the down payment. I'm not sure if it's Gahel or Gahel, but on the itch page it was G-A-H-E-L, so it was Gahel. I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway. Oh, it's spelled Gahel again. Gahel wordlessly looked at me with those deep blue eyes as if unsatisfied. I think it was because he had almost knocked over a box obstructing the stairway while coming down. Good morning? Without answering, Gahel stooped to move the crate at his feet. Wait, I haven't enchanted that yet. Just leave it as it is. Resque, this has been sitting here for a week already. He reprimanded me in a low, husky voice. It oddly felt like I was being scolded. I had to take care of other important things first. I set down the duster and futilely shuffled the potions around in an effort to avoid Gahel's gaze. Barely forcing down a frown, Gahel spoke. Why don't you at least move it out of the way? Okay, I'll move it to the side later. Later? Gahel stares at me sharply, as if trying to pierce me with his eyes alone. Why I am sensing the charisma of a mercenary who has escaped the clutches of death countless times on the battlefield, that is the question. I own this store, and I'm the one who hired the mercenary. It felt like the roles were reversed. Fresh out of options, I crouched on the floor and grunted as I tried to drag the heavy box. After seeing the pitiful display, Gahel walks over and grabs the box, presumably to carry it for me. I'll move it myself, or I watch as he moves it. I think let's watch the hot wolfman move it. I watch as he moves it. Oh, Gahel affinity +1. Gahel mightily lifts the box and carries it for me. Gahel lifted the crate with a small huff that scarcely could be called a grunt. His brawny arm muscles effortlessly held the box as if it was a toy. Leave these little tasks to me, Resque. Of course. Lost for words at the frightening disparity in power, I could only nod in agreement. Where should I put it? Huh? Oh, here on the desk. I quickly cleared a few magic books, and Gahel placed the box in the cleared space. I'll do anything for you, so let me know when you need me. Gahel had also helped me set up the heavy alchemy cauldrons the other day. He who, just moments ago, looked upon me with a gaze as fierce as Gale's was now smiling at me with gentle eyes. I smiled awkwardly and thanked him. Thanks for always helping me. It has only been a month since Gahel moved in with me, but he always stayed by my side, constantly asking me if there was any way he could be of help. His primary job was to protect me as a bodyguard, but he was willing to take on more than that. While I appreciate the help, sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming. He's not going to have a change of heart and charge additional fees, right? I don't have a lot of money to spare this month, with all the other ingredients, dungeon prep, and artifacts I need to buy. Is there enough stock of healing potions? It's not abundant, but we should be fine for this week. Healing potions are the item customers reach for the most often, so Gahel seems to be keeping tabs on it. If I sell an item notarized by the Magic Tower for a slightly lower price point than in the Magic Tower, then mercenaries will have no choice but to swing by my shop. I'm no Mage Tower associate. That I leverage some connection to snag a notary document is more like it. Let's just keep one shelf stocked, then. Thanks, I'll have to make another batch. Anyway, you need ingredients to make potions, and you gather them in dungeons. Common alchemical ingredients can be bought in the city, but magical ingredients require an understanding of magic to be handled properly. Eventually, I have to enter the dungeons myself to gather the herbs I'm fond of. Fortunately, mana herbs, the main ingredient in health potions, are easy to find in any dungeon. Fighting the monsters in the dungeons, however, is a different matter. After nearly losing my life going into a dungeon alone, I hired a mercenary to protect me. That's how I met Gahel in the mercenary guild a month ago. Finish stocking the shelves. Huh? Oh, thanks. I can do the cleaning. As I watched Gahel lay waste to the dust, even snatching from me the feather duster I was holding, I reminisced about the moment we first met. Mercenary guilds always have no shortage of dangerous missions and even more dangerous mercenaries. It's strange how little quarrel or uproar there is among mercenaries when they are, unlike knights who are bound by honor and loyalty, driven by power and money alone. It's never a quiet day in the mercenary guild building, especially when it's home to so many carnivore beastmen, but today was different. Resque opened the guild door to find a strangely deserted room with a handful of mercenaries sitting around, all of whom one could tell at a glance were low-ranking. What happened? Why are the mercenaries nowhere to be seen? I became shrouded in confusion, but submitting my request was a more urgent matter than finding out why. As I stood before the front desk, Lucas, the receptionist, looked at me with a friendly smile. "Good day, Resque." He spoke as if he already knew my purpose for being here. "Are you looking for a mercenary to accompany you to the dungeon again?" As if familiar with my routine, he began flipping through paperwork to find a suitable mercenary even before he could hear my answer. "That's right, Lucas. Same request again." For now, I can only offer you one mercenary with demanding requirements. Nothing wrong with conscripting mercenaries through recruitment posters, but nowadays, due to the demon-slaying mission, mercenaries won't even bother if the pay isn't higher than usual. A monster-slaying mission? Yes, there has been an increase in monster activity near the castle, and the Count has mobilized the nightly orders. But the number of monsters was higher than expected, and they've had to hire a lot of mercenaries lately. It's not every day that the Count steps up to the plate. Lucas spoke as he repeated the process of thumbing through the documents of potential mercenaries only to dismiss them. They say there's a new monster colony. His explanation helped me understand why the guild was so quiet. So everyone jumped on that mission, even the mercenaries who weren't directly hired. They must have offered a bounty that could light a fire in the eyes of any mercenary unless he lacked the skill or valued his life. The pay for monster slaying missions is quite handsome, I suppose. Yes, in addition to the basic bounty, the mercenary also gains the rights to the materials obtained from the demon he killed. My mundane dungeon raid bodyguard request stood no chance against the Count's high-pay contract that comes with magical materials to boot. So even if I post the recruitment notice, nobody will even give it a look. I was irritated by the suddenness of the situation, but in the end, I only had one choice to begin with. Okay, please stand by at the empty table over there. Lucas went up to the second floor and immediately brought back a mercenary. Negotiate the terms and then let me take a look at the contract when you're done. Lucas kept his instructions brief and returned to his seat. Hello, I'm Resque. I looked at the mercenary and greeted him. Before me stood a wolf beastman with eyes that gleamed piercingly. His outfit that consisted of not much more than a leather belt and a pauldron may appear indecent due to its revealing nature. But it was as if his body, from his black and white fur to his well-trained muscles, was a suit of armor itself. With a red cloak draped over one shoulder and two long swords, one at his waist and one at his back, he seemed to be a practitioner of a fast and fluid sword style. His deep blue eyes and the numerous scars on his skin revealed the many battles and experiences he had endured. What's this? His dark blue pupils dilated. He seemed to be looking deeply at Resque. I began to feel a little uncomfortable under the pressure of the unexplained silence that stretched on without any response. Unable to stand the awkwardness, I spoke up. Apologies. My name is Gahel. Gahel, coming to his senses, hastily introduced himself. Mr. Lucas said your contract had some conditions. Yes. Gahel offered me a long-term contract for 1 year. This was my first time signing a long-term contract that wasn't a one-time deal, which made me hesitate. However, there were often incidents that threatened my business, and I needed a way to protect myself even outside the dungeon. Moreover, Gahel was no ordinary mercenary. Among other things, the brooch on Gahel's cloak told me he was a trustworthy mercenary. The brooch was engraved with the emblem of a famous mercenary group known as the Kalurian, proving that he was a mercenary of tried and true skill. I don't think it's a counterfeit. If I hired someone that good as a bodyguard, my business would go off without a hitch. But hiring a mercenary of that caliber would cost a fortune, so my second worry was that of finance. A 1-year contract? Well, fine, but I have my own conditions. I'll provide you with room and board, but may I ask you to protect me outside the dungeon as well? He replied immediately. No problem. I continued, explaining further the details of my situation. And I don't have enough gold coins to be able to afford the down payment up front. I'm going to pay for everything but the retaining fee with artifacts. So why don't we write a formal contract in a month's time when I finish the artifact? However, he answered with a smile. We can discuss the specifics later. Let's make a deal right now. I asked in surprise. Are you serious? I know you're the owner of a magic shop. As a mage and a merchant, you're a beastman of your word, aren't you? I had some doubts since the terms of the deal ended up being a little too favorable for me, but in the end, I decided the risk was worth the reward and accepted his offer. Okay, let's seal the deal then. Before we end the video, I would like to give a massive thank you to our patrons. Your support means more than the world to us. It means the galaxy to us. And a special shout out to Azure the Wolf for becoming a Lightfall associate. Thank you so much. Check out patreon.com/arcandray07 to be a patron today. Ciao!